mind. Shit, shut up, speak your mind. Hey, on your grind. Wait, when you speak your mind.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Speaking Mind 2.0. We're taking things to the O. It's your boy T1.
I'm your boy JD Sports Nation. It's your boy SYM.
And the setup's a little different because we started something new. Right now, we're going to be starting like our real talk conversation with SYM. And just kind of, really what's going on in the world right now, we just feel like, you know what, let's take what our name actually is and actually have like an open-minded conversation. And with that, not only will we be starting that, but we got two very special guests, the first females to be on Speak Your Mind. Now I'm going to introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Talia. And I'm Courtney.
How you guys doing today?
We're good, how are you?
So how's it feel to be? So you guys ready to get what we're about to talk to now?
For sure.
All right. It's really no time wasting. Let's just kind of like straight dive into it. So when it comes to generational dating within our generation, like how do you guys perceive dating? So I'm gonna let the ladies go first on that.
So the question is like how are you dating, basically?
Yeah, right. Like how does our generation view dating?
I think dating is you're taking the time to get to know different people, not necessarily physical, like intimate actions, but just like going out, getting to know people, like literally like dates, I guess. But I would look at it as people dating multiple different people. I guess it's two different ways. You can either date multiple different people, or you can just be dating someone and going out occasionally getting to know them.
That's what's up. So what about the second option of dating? Like what's the second side of that?
I mean, well, I feel like if you're dating one person, then, obviously you're putting all your eggs in one basket. So you're looking towards one person to kind of like continue things. But I feel like when you're dating multiple people, that's kind of to like, get the gist of what you like.
So that's kind of like keeping your options open.
Basically.
In a way.
Basically.
Okay, you got something to say?
I definitely agree. I feel like you're either dating one person or you're dating around. I feel like this day and age, most people are not clear on which dating they actually have going on. So it's like you might be left trying to figure it out, or y'all gonna have to have that conversation. But I feel like this day and age, people aren't really dating. Like, I don't know.
Not taking the time to get to know.
Nah, like it's like a lot of people are talking to a lot of different people, if that makes sense. Nobody is like trying to have that one person. I mean, I guess dating to marry is kind of neat, but like, I don't know. People just seem like they just out here willy-nilly talking to who they want, doing what they want to do with whoever. And yeah.
So, fellas, y'all got anything on that too?
Go ahead.
Well, for me, I don't know. I just feel like dating as a whole now is like way different. I mean, granted with social media and everything, but from like back in like the 60s and 70s, 80s, and all that. Well, just saying in that aspect, back then, it wasn't really all about the social media thing. So
well, back then you didn't have it. You actually
that's what I'm saying.
You had to pull up and like, hey, I want to boom, boom,
that's
boom.
That's what I'm saying. But now, why can't we have that kind of energy now? It's like
because nowadays niggas are lazy. So let's
granted, for sure. But it's just more or less. I feel like we need to get back to that aspect a little bit more, and not all the glitz and glamour of like social media and shit like that, and actually like sit down and get to know somebody. But that's where I see everything at.
I'm kind of definitely agreeing with him, but I think it's even bigger than that. I think boundaries is a word that our generation just doesn't understand fully what it means.
For sure.
It's kind of one of those things that you try to set the standards, you try to set the boundary of what we're doing. Are we dating? Are we talking? Are we just texting? Or are we dating to marry? Are we dating to do this? There's so many different lanes you can go with it.
Finding those boundaries.
It's very hard.
Oh, yeah,
it's very hard to find those boundaries.
For sure.
Just because it depends on who you're attracting, it depends on who you're dating. But it's definitely one of those things where I would say it's more harder for the guy to set those boundaries than it is the female. Female's kind of more apparent with the boundaries you want to be. You know what I mean? With the guy, it's kind of like, more likely, I kind of want to do this as well.
Would you want a guy to just be upfront right away?
I'm definitely a straightforward person. Like, just let me know what it is. depends. Either way, like even if it's bad, like I really don't care. I'd rather know than be left wondering or guessing about what's going on.
For sure.
This question multiple times, like, is it still okay for like a guy and a girl to just go out and not really call it a date? They just hanging out and just doing whatever. Is that quote unquote?
I feel like it is. Like y'all have to have that conversation, or I guess feel the vibe out and see what's going on. Like, cause I mean, if y'all talked about it,
What?
I feel like you know.
yeah, you might know, but like at the same time, one person might feel one way and the other person might not feel that same way. Like y'all might not be on the same page. So you feel me? He might go into it like, oh, I'm feeling her, but she like, I'm just trying to have a good time. You know, he's like, not really trying to date right now. I'm focused on myself. And he's out here like, okay, so that's where it goes back to the boundaries and having them conversations. But people don't really want to have these conversations. I feel like they like scare people almost. Like, oh, she asking him like what this is. Like now he's intimidated, or he knows he's on game, so he's like, oh shit.
I just feel like that's more of just like people still trying to get over like rejection and stuff like that. They don't want to hear the no still. We're still afraid of the no.
I feel like in a way you kind of do need to kind of like at least get to that point where like, nah, it's not that, like versus just like staying like, you know, subliminal stuff like, nah, I just want to focus on myself. Because like people can say that constantly, but it's like at the same time, all right, just tell me the actual truth, what you really want to say, just instead of trying to hide both our feelings from getting hurt.
Right.
Because I feel like the more and more
it might take a certain amount of time to get to that point too. In the beginning, you feel me, y'all might just be kicking it, but it's like, all right, we've been doing this for a minute now. Like, what's up?
I'm sorry, this nigga with the jackpot.
I'm thirsty.
Do you feel like there's a time limit? Do you feel like there's a time limit where like, okay, he should be definitely asking?
No, like it depends. I feel like every situation is different. Like just depends on what y'all got going on. Like, but like Courtney said, you can tell sometimes, or sometimes you know, but
Because we're talking about meeting up and going out.
Now, I was about to say, so, okay, if a guy asking you guys to go out, does he have to, like, do you guys feel like he still needs to pay for the date, or you guys can split it type deal?
It depends too on that though. It depends,
How do you feel
depends too
about
on that because like me
It
personally,
depends.
if I'm taking a girl out on a date, I'm paying for everything. That's
Of course.
that's
That's how I
was
feel too.
raised.
That's how I feel too.
if you ask me to go on a date with you, you should pay.
Right.
But if it's like
we're just chilling.
I'm asking you to hang out, I guess you don't really have to pay.
So it's more or less, if you're asking, it's like we can split it 50-50.
Like, why you not paying? It's like,
This is good.
Well, I'm a fair kind of person, so I completely agree with what she's saying. If you're asking me out on a date, I am expecting you to pay. Now, that's why I say it depends, because if it's not a date and we're meeting up as friends, no, I don't expect you to pay. Why are you?
Because they never expect that y'all just paying
why am I
for
expecting you to
yourselves.
pay?
which
yeah,
is-
we just hanging out, we just taking it.
Exactly.
Right now, I
If
did.
you pay for it though, I'm gonna feel like it's a date.
Right now, I do want to ask a question on this though too. Like, how hard is it for a female to actually pay for the date if she asks the guy out?
I really don't care.
Yeah, I don't mind. I like a balance.
Yeah.
I like an even balance. You pay for the movie, I'll get the drinks, or like I like
For
it
sure.
to go back and
Big
forth.
bang, take a little bang, take a little bang.
Big bang.
Take a little bang.
Not even that. Like, you feel me?
No.
We could go 50-50. It's not that deep.
Definitely feel like it depends on how it is with the partner, like how it is with the relationship.
For sure.
I feel like if the guy asks, if you're asking, I feel like you should pay because you guys weren't collectively talking about it. You asked her out, you should be paying. You know what I'm saying? So.
My question is also this too, like how rare is it for a female to actually go up to a guy and say, hey, I want to take you out? Like how rare do you think that is?
I mean, I ain't never really asked nobody. I never asked to take somebody on a date. I've asked to like hang out, but I never was like, hey, let me take you on a date. Like I never said that before.
But like, why do you think it's rare for like females in general to kind of like take that initiative and like, hey, I want to take this guy out?
Me personally, I don't want to end up in that like, damn, Court, I told you so. So you feel me? I like when it's like I said, it's an evenness. I want to be able to show you that I can give you attention and vice versa. But I do kind of want it to, if you want to see me, let me know, and we'll go from there.
Fellas, what y'all think about that?
I mean, for me, I definitely I feel like it's like a unspoken rule. It's just natural for a guy to be the one to do it. I think there's a way a female can. They can spark up the idea and conversation. Definitely feel like that can happen, but it's always going to end up to where the guy is the one to take the initiative. They'd be like, all right, let's do it. I think we should do this, that, and the third. They can bring it up like, yeah, I really like going to this. I always wanted to see this movie. I always wanted to go see this type of. I always want to go to this bar. Or this, that, and the third. I definitely feel like it can go that way, but it's always going to be the guy that's going to take the initiative and actually take them out somewhere. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
All right. So like, let's keep that dating thing in motion. Now we talking in relationships too. But now here's here's a back question to that as well. Platonic friends. So like, say you in a relationship with your significant other, and they have like a real tight, close friend that's either a guy or a female. How do you guys feel about that?
I guess it depends on multiple things. How long they've been friends.
And what are the boundaries?
Well, yeah, like if y'all had sex before, y'all not best friends. Like that's like y'all already.
Well, what if you guys already had explored that, but you guys are cool?
No, that's not okay. You're not your best friend. Like that's never gonna work. So if y'all ever had sex, cut it.
Any sexual activity that y'all have tried to do, and y'all still friends.
Cut it. So I mean, y'all never done nothing.
But
y'all been friends probably since like middle school, high school at least. And I don't know, like it just depends on like, I guess filling out vibes, like it's how really they are together, like how, I don't know, yeah, it's
how they move,
for sure.
The level of respect. My biggest thing, I don't have, this is how I know I'm growing and prospering because the old me completely cut it. I've had a really bad history of dealing with the platonic friends.
Hey, let's talk about it. Like let's talk about it.
I mean, it's never been real. It's never been genuine. It's always been, how she said, the sex, the kissing, the feelings like that has always been tied into it. So like for me, it's like, wow, I do think it is really good to get the opposite sex, like, point of view, having me personally, having a guy, close friend I can go to, hey, like, is this, what's going on in this situation? Is this just what guys do, or am I tripping? Like, it's nice to be able to go to somebody like that and get some, good advice, but at the same time, like I said, if it's not genuine, then it's just like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it.
Y'all got anything to say on that too?
I mean, I already have what I want to say.
I mean, with platonic friends, I feel like if you guys come to like some type of understanding, like if it didn't work out, if you guys tried it already, and you guys are still able to like connect on a level of like, alright, I still care for you, but you know that we can't be nothing more. I feel like it's like you guys can explore that, but I just feel like we can like that a little bit.
I definitely think I definitely agree with kind of both of what you guys are saying.
I think we're talking about in two different situations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I definitely understand where you're coming from. I understand where he's coming from, which is exactly what you said. It's two different situations, and that actually poses more of a different answer where it definitely it can differ in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can be in a situation with platonic friendships where you were in a relationship with someone, you got whatever you needed from that situation. So maybe it didn't work out for several different reasons, and you seen that, okay, we still have a good friendship. We know our boundaries. We know what's not and what is. Maybe we can't try this out.
So it all goes back to boundaries. Keyword boundaries and all that.
That's always the thing.
Now let me ask y'all this question. So like, say boundaries are still like not all the way there, and you don't feel comfortable with that platonic friend kind of like being around. Would you then need to talk to that friend and let them know, like, hey, what's going on?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. It never goes down that way though. Sadly, it just doesn't. It never goes down that way, because either with the guy you have the typical, want the cake and eat it too, or you have it with a female where it could be want the cake and eat it too, but more of a situation like, I might not want to hurt his feelings, or I might want him here for right now because I don't know exactly where I want him in my life, but I know I need to piece him right here for that time being. You know what I mean? So.
You got anything else on that, okay?
I agree. I just feel like Courtney was more so talking about her significant other having a platonic best friend,
Ooh.
and y'all were talking about just you having one in general, like.
Right.
So yeah, but
Honestly, I want to kind of like dive into your situation, Joe, like past history with that, because I feel like you do want to talk a little bit more about that. So, I mean, we speaking our mind on this, so like,
It sounds like you want to get a little bit more off your
he
chest.
says you have more to say.
I mean,
we ain't gonna shut the nigga out, but just talk about him.
no, that's the thing. Like I said, it's like a history.
I was about to say, you're on Speak Your Mind, so speak your mind.
Literally.
It was just never genuine. That's really all
Like,
it is.
what was the genuine? What wasn't genuine about it? Like, was he kept going back to that platonic friend and not really going to you, or like, what was going on with that?
It was more so like, okay, so platonic friend. I'm thinking of it. You feel me? Opposite sex friend of myself, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So now I'm thinking of this, and with my exes, they had an opposite sex best friend. They had a female best friend.
Right.
But it wasn't genuine. It wasn't really their best friend. You know, they have, it was feelings involved. It was more so like they was pressed for the title. You know, she's during like high school, so they want the title. They want the bestie. They want, I feel like it's really a title thing in a lot of opposite sex platonic best friends, and I don't rock with it. But I did get to experience a guy who, like, we didn't really work out, but he was definitely a cool person. I feel like the trust was there, and, he had a platonic friend. And the craziest thing is, I didn't really catch him telling that friend. It ended up being, like, just another female friend that he was just, like, cool with, but I just kind of caught him, like, telling her things that I wouldn't be doing it vice versa, like, revealing that information about him, my partner at the time, but also I was like, who told you was supposed to be going and, telling her X, Y, and Z? Because at the end of the day, you want to be your partner's best friend, like
that was my next question too. Like what you just said, like how much trust do you feel like your significant other has to like go to you if they're feeling down and about, versus them going to their platonic friend for that like talk or comfort? Like how important do you think that is?
I just feel like you got other friends, so I just feel like you just need to pick and choose
what friends can help you on.
Absolutely, I feel like like I said, and it can obviously vary, it can be different. In this like particular situation, I feel like anyone could have giving him advice,
But it's just the fact he went to her. It's like
it makes me feel a little different when it's like, okay, you're not going to just like your bro.
Where's the trust?
Like,
you feel like the motives are a little bit different when he goes to her.
And not even just that, but why does she know so much about us? Is she in our relationship, or like?
And I feel like that's another boundary that really needs to be talked about too. Like,
absolutely,
not everyone needs to know your business.
That's a fact. I feel like I've learned that through like my relationships over the years.
Yes.
Definitely.
I say, nigga, you need to probably take a shot at that right now.
Definitely learn a little bit with that, just with giving different people different information and different insight into a relationship that I'm dealing with or problems within the relationship. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
It's all about who's going to give you the best information and how you receive it.
Exactly. But I also don't see it being a problem where if you need another female's perspective on something like that's okay too. I kind of get that.
It's tricky. It's tricky, but I feel like the right female
that's what I'm saying.
It gotta be the right female, and if that's the case,
right.
That is true, because it definitely will take a strong female, because that's a different level that someone else, they feel like you're giving that part of you, that part of vulnerability up to someone else. You're not going to me.
Person that you're in a relationship.
Right. Why don't you feel like you can say that to me? Mm. So that's very tricky. It would take the exact right female, you're correct, to understand that, because 9 times out of 10, yeah.
Because I think me personally, I just feel like where there's a guy or a girl, y'all in a relationship, and you don't go to them for something that you're feeling about, I feel like they go to a different person that's in the same gender as them and ask them the same question and probably get their perspectives to see where you're probably going to be coming from. Because at the same time, like, if you don't probably go to them, maybe because you probably know already their reaction. Like you can already ask a question and instantly you can know how they're gonna react. So maybe you go to someone different to get their perspective, just I guess level out to see where they're coming from too as well. That's just me. I feel like. But yeah, overall it really does depend on like the person that you keep around or the person that you go to for information like that if you can't go to your significant other.
Right.
So would y'all agree on that in a way?
Absolutely. Yep.
So overall, like I just feel like with our generation when it comes to dating, I just feel like kind of like with a case that we just need to know upfront and just honestly like just be real with ourselves. Like don't
put us through the emotions and stuff like that. Like just be honest. Like if you want to date, okay, cool. If you don't, hey, it is what it is. Like cause you know there's a lot of people out there for a lot of people. But at the same time, if you do want to actually settle down, then like just I would say keep your options open, but at the same time limit them to a certain degree because you don't want to be out here home just you know dating everybody and y'all probably get into X, Y, and Z and shit like that. And then overall, like how do y'all really feel about like what's your conclusion about it?
I just feel like communication is key in any relationship. Like
Say that again.
Communication is key. Like
One more time.
communication is key.
We're looking at this one.
Communication is key.
And that's period. Like, just speak up. Like, I don't know. I'm just the type of person where just tell me what it is. Like, maybe I have thick skin, but I'd rather know than be wondering or confused or guessing or you. Like, just talk to me. That's it. Just talk to me. We can have anything you want to talk about. Let's talk about it. Period.
Definitely. Oh, shit. Period. For me,
I have one question for the viewers that will see this, and in the comments, and I have a question for you guys. Do you feel like in those situations, whether in the platonic friendship or in the dating aspect, do you feel like trust or communication is the biggest thing?
I feel like
Trust.
I feel like if you communicate, I'm gonna trust you. Like,
I feel like they kind of go in
hand to hand.
yeah,
they go hand in
definitely.
hand.
If you're
Because you gotta think y'all build that communication off trust
For
at the
sure.
same time too.
You can
or is
actually
it the other way around?
It could be the other way around
you
too.
can actually have good communication because you naturally have a chemistry. That doesn't mean you trust that person.
Right.
I mean, unless you out here telling me shit, but you lying.
You never know. That's what I'm saying.
And you run a game too.
Oh
like,
man.
Yeah, you know how that stuff goes. That's how
That's
people
not
get in
good
those
communication
situations.
though. Like that's just lying. So I don't know. Trust, communication.
I still kind of feel like they still go hand in hand, but like
They kind of do.
yeah, it's probably a lot more you gotta dissect with that too.
Yeah, let's-
Let us know what you think in the comments.
So pretty much we gonna probably wrap this up, but we once again we want to thank these beautiful queens for coming through, being the first female to speak your mind to come on. And you guys will get a lot more of these conversations soon. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna 1 week we'll have females, 1 week we'll have guys, and eventually we'll have like a one big collective come together and have a real deep conversation. So without further ado, I'm your boy TY.
Boy JD Sports Nation.
It's your boy, that's why I'm sad.
And this is Speaking Mind 2.0. We'll see you guys next time.
Speaking your mind, that's what I be talking about. I'm speaking my mind, my.